So for those of you who don't know, I do not like my past on the channel. Now when I say past, I'm mainly talking about from 2015 to very, very early 2017. And the reason why I say early 2017 is because that year kind of started off average, decent, but it still wasn't that great. But it got better as the year progressed, and it actually, by the end of it, I was very improved. And now, because of that, my channel is in a pretty good state right now. So, yeah, 2017, despite how it started, it was overall, I'd say, pretty good year. But 2015 and 2016, I would probably consider those 2 years the worst years I've had on YouTube. 2016 was bad for a different reason, but well, actually no. 2016 was bad for content, and 2015, while it had some creative moments here and there, it was just bad overall. And I know I bash on it a lot, but I personally believe that I have a lot of good reasons as to why I don't like what this channel used to be. So let me explain. Let's start off with 2015. So I know I give 2015 a lot of crap, and I've considered on many occasions that it's probably hands down the worst year that I've had on YouTube. But looking back on it, I feel kind of bad for saying that, because 2015 was actually the year that I started doing YouTube. And back then, I didn't really know what I was doing. I was just getting started. I was learning the ropes, basically. And because of the fact that I didn't know what I was doing, it led to some pretty cringeworthy moments.
I guess it's that time of the month again, where all goats go rampant. Yay. I want to know where. You're welcome.
Oh my god. Stop. Stop. Don't look at me with your straight hairline, dude. Just stop. You're not cool. And you see, that was the other thing about 2015. I tried so hard to be cool, which means I forced myself to be someone that I wasn't. Now, when I say 2015 sucked, I didn't mean that content-wise, because in all honesty, the content that I was producing in 2015 actually wasn't that bad idea-wise. It was just the execution of those ideas that were just a little odd. And again, I said that I was just starting out at this time, which means that I had to figure out a personality, because before this I was watching guys like PewDiePie, Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, which I still do to this very day. But those guys have unbelievable personalities. That's why so many people like them. But at this point, I was like, okay, how can I make myself seem cool to my audience? So I basically did a thing where I would try to be funny, but most of the time it came off pretty funny, but not in the way that I wanted it to. Funny for the wrong reason, because it was terrible. Yeah, my first couple of videos, the very first video that I actually ever made, I'll give that one a pass, since that one, I was shy in that one, and it was my first video. It was my first video, so of course I'm gonna give it a slide, because, yeah. But as 2015 started to get longer, that's not the correct sentence I'm looking for. As 2015 continued, I started to make a lot more gaming videos, because I was like, okay, so this is a thing that people are doing that looks cool. I want to try this out. And for the most part, it was successful. But here's the thing. The only really good series that I can really think of gaming-wise in 2015 was Survive and Survival. And basically what Survive and Survival was, it was Minecraft. And it was just me and Connor, or Cool Dude, just surviving in survival mode on Minecraft. That was basically it. Simple, but yet it was somehow really interesting, even though this is a clip that I'm using for this video. This is from episode 5. And yeah, I mean, it's all right. It's acceptable. I'll take it. But compared to the stuff that I do now, I would say that obviously the stuff that I do now is way better than the stuff I was doing back then. But like, I still kind of miss doing this with like Cool Dude and all that. But yeah. So yeah, the Minecraft thing was, for the most part, probably the best part about 2015. It's a shame that it wasn't around for that long. It only lasted like, I want to say maybe 7 episodes, somewhere around there. But yeah, but then I had other ideas. Later on in 2015, things started to kind of get a little weird in terms of creativity. And the reason why I say that is because for some reason I started doing my first show out of nowhere. And what it was is that it was about Transformers. It was called Transformers Lost World. There were 2 seasons. There was supposed to be a third, but due to criticism at that point, which I didn't know how to take, I just didn't do it. That, and I was lazy and just didn't do it anyway. But this was my attempt at doing a show, and it's cringeworthy to watch. Just watch the opening. Well, just listen to my amazing Optimus Prime voice.
This is Cybertron. Once probably one of the most peaceful planets of all time.
Thankfully, the show turned out to be decent for the most part. It's definitely not the greatest thing that I've ever done. Heck, I wouldn't even say that it's one of my proudest achievements. But I will say this, it's definitely not terrible. The storyline for the most part is pretty straightforward. The Autobots are at war with the Decepticons, and they gotta stop them because they're bad guys. That's basically the premise. And in terms, okay, so this quote-unquote show was kind of like the gaming content I was creating back then. It was decent, or it was okay with its execution, but in terms of creativeness, wasn't that bad. But apparently I thought this was good enough to the point where it should get a second season, and that one didn't do so well. The season was lacking quality, and there were a lot of episodes that weren't very well received, and I guess that got to me as well, since I didn't do a season 3, which I will admit, thank God I didn't do a season 3, because I had no idea what I was even doing for season 3, so thank God that wasn't the case. But season 2 was in 2016, which at that point there were a lot of bad things going on with the channel, and I'll explain that right now. 2016. Remember when I said that 2015 was the worst year that I've had on YouTube? I would like to correct that statement right now and say that 2016 is actually the worst year that I've had on YouTube. And for a lot of reasons. There are a lot of reasons why this year is so bad. There are so many bad things that happened to me throughout this year on this platform that really lowered my self-esteem. Like, I actually thought about quitting during 2016. I actually contemplated whether or not I wanted to quit YouTube. That's how bad this year was. I'm serious. So let's start from the beginning. The year got off to a rough start when I started taking criticism and didn't really know how to handle it that well. Now, today, if I was to receive some criticism, I would be like, oh, okay, well, thanks for your constructive criticism, and I'll make sure to change something that I didn't do right or something like that. But back then, you were not allowed to hate on me. Otherwise, you would have been blocked or you would have been reported to YouTube. That's how it was back in the day. And I question this now because okay, here's how this all started. So basically what happened was that I made this very cringeworthy video called Five Nights at Miley's, which for some reason I thought was a creative genius idea. And people didn't like it. People didn't like it, and they were saying things like, God, what were they saying? They were saying, kill it with fire, you should drink bleach, die. Basically, a lot of death comments. And at that point, I have never received something like that. So it kind of took me by surprise, and it was very hard on me. And, you know, some of it makes sense. Other times, like the drinking bleach thing, it was a mix between criticism and cyberbullying. That's what it was. And to be honest, I look back on it, it was really silly at the time, but I've never been hated on so much until that point. Like, after I made that video, it was just like non-stop hate. Like, I've never been hated on before, so it was new to me, and I didn't know how to handle it. And the only solution I could really come up with was a lecture on people not hating on me and then blocking and reporting them. But this also had a lot of supporters behind it. People were supporting me, people were helping me, and yeah. But this was the start of me of my low self-esteem throughout this year. Then in the middle of the year, I received my very first copyright strike, and basically what it was for was my brother said a name of a brand of popcorn in a Lego video we made, and because of that, I got hit with a copyright strike. And basically what that did was I couldn't make videos past 15 minutes, and I couldn't have any custom thumbnails, so that's why the thumbnails from my 2016 videos, they look pretty bad. But because of this really caused a downward spiral for my channel, because once I got hit with that copyright strike, and I couldn't really do a whole lot creative-wise, and because of that, people started to lose interest in me, and I don't really blame them, because once I lost the ability to have creative control, I basically became boring and stale. And because of that, I started losing a lot of subscribers, and I tried to do some new things to get some new ones, but that didn't work. So because of that, my subscriber rate went up and then down, and then up and then down and then down again. And at the same time, I was at I want to say 75 subscribers at this point. It was somewhere around there. It was around 75, 74, 73, somewhere around there. And I was stuck there for the longest time. I was stuck there throughout the entire year, basically. And anytime I would go up, it would always go back down. And that it upset me a lot. And my self-esteem was pretty low enough because I lost creative control due to the copyright strike. But the fact that I was losing subscribers and support over this was even more of a downer. So yeah, that's another bad thing that happened that year. So yeah, I think it's safe to say 2016 was not that great of a year. But here's the thing. It ended on a high note at least with the copyright strike being released after like I want to say 4 weeks. And by the way, I didn't mean to say released. I meant to say lifted, but I'm too stupid to actually think of the actual word. Anyways, so yeah, it was lifted, and because of that, I got full control over my channel again, which I was really happy about. And like, I got to, it kind of started to bring me back up a little bit. I didn't get a whole lot of subscribers out of the deal, but I still ended the year in a better mood that I started it with. So that's a good thing. But in terms of quality of the content that was being published that year, it just ugh, wasn't that good. Wasn't that good. And it kind of ended on a pretty bad note personally, which I'm not going to really get into. But yeah, overall, 2016 was probably the worst year on YouTube that I've ever had so far. And then there was early 2017. Now, early 2017, I made it sound bad, but in terms of what I was doing, it wasn't nearly as bad as I made it out to be. Um, so basically, 2017 started out with the type of gaming videos that I would normally make. Excuse me. Basically, the type of gaming videos I would make was I would have a phone, I would have a TV tray, I would put the phone on the TV tray, and I would record the TV basically on the phone, and that's how I would make gaming videos and stuff. It was super complicated, but that's what I used to do for the longest time. But it was noticed by someone. I believe his name was Dat Boy. I'm pretty sure that's how you know. That's how you know when you're taking criticism from Dat Boy, you've gone places. But no, that means dead. But here's the thing. So the year itself started out pretty decently. The content I was making felt a lot more fresh. It didn't feel as gray and barren as the 2016 content was, which, by the way, the years that I've been doing YouTube, I kind of have them named because of the certain eras that they're a part of. Like in 2015, I consider the new era because I was brand new at that point. 2016 or 2016, I don't know why I say 2015, they then say 2016. I don't know why I do that. 2016, I consider the gray era because of like I said, the gray and barren kind of content I was making. And I consider 2017 not the golden era, but the silver era, because it's so much better. This was the year that really improved my channel for the better. Now back to what I was talking about, Dat Boy. He commented on one of my Battlefield videos before I was doing a playthrough of the Battlefield campaign, which was during this year as well. And basically, he was telling me how I can record on the PlayStation 4. I told him I didn't know how to, and he told me how to. And once I started doing it, it was off to the races from there. And ever since then, I've been making probably some of the best content that I've been making in a long, long time. Content that I've been wanting to make, but I never knew how to make, basically. Sorry, my throat just like completely stopped working there for a second. I don't know what happened there. Had a mini stroke, but but anyways. So yeah, the reason why I say 2017 started off kind of bad, and here's the thing, okay? I know I'm stuttering a lot. I don't know why I'm stuttering, but here's the thing. So I say 2017 started off bad, but looking back on it, I don't know. I don't really know if I would consider it to be bad, because I actually liked the content I was making. I mean, yeah, sure, there were some still minor cringy things like that. There was a Chopper Year of Violence trailer that dropped that year that was pretty cringeworthy. I believe it was just me playing a guitar and it's showing some pretty terrible shots of the game. I'm pretty sure that's how it was. But other than that, I'd say 2017 was a pretty darn good year for me, both personally and in terms of YouTube, because this 2017 was a bad year for a lot of people, but for me, I would consider it to be pretty good. It was pretty good. And now here we are in 2018, and we're having probably the best year that we've had on YouTube so far. I mean, we did lose Alf this year, and that sucks. But overall, I'd say 2018 is going pretty well so far, and hopefully it continues to be as good as it is right now. So yeah, I just explained in a lot of detail why I don't like my past on this channel. It's kind of embarrassing and at the same time a little depressing. But I'm honestly amazed that I've even made it this far to like 109 subscribers. That's honestly amazing, because when I reached 100, I didn't think that was even possible, because I wanted to reach 100. I wanted to reach triple digits, but I didn't think I could do it. And then it happened, and I was like, oh my god, this is real. This is actually happening. And here I am today, sitting with 9 more subscribers that I had back then, and it's honestly it's amazing. It really is. And it's been a heck of a journey these past 3 years on YouTube. It's been a heck of a journey that's had its ups and its downs. But overall, this year and 2017 have been the saving grace for this channel. So yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, I will see you guys later in the next video. Goodbye.